Now it is my distinct honor and pleasure to introduce our opening keynote speaker, Chancellor Mildred García. She is the first Latina to lead the nation's largest and most diverse four-year university. Chancellor García is no stranger to the CSU, having served as president of Cal State Fullerton and CSU Dominguez Hills. Prior to her appointment as chancellor, she served as president of the American Association of State Colleges and Universities, or ASCU, where she was a powerful and internationally renowned advocate for public higher education. I am absolutely thrilled that she is now the head of the CSU, and we are in her capable hands and will benefit from her compassion, dedicated leadership, extensive experience, and enormous wealth of knowledge, which will undoubtedly take this extraordinary institution to even greater heights. Please welcome Chancellor Mildred García.
Good afternoon, buenas tardes. Thank you so very much, Nathan and Delcy, for your gracious opening and continued leadership. Thank you to President Adela de la Torre for really hosting us at this beautiful San Diego State University. And of course, thank you, Chair Fang, for kicking off the symposium with your energy, the energy it deserves. And thank you to all of you, our presidents, our trustees, our administrators, our students, all of you and those on live stream for joining us. Well, you heard this, we're back. We're back together again. Yeah, let's applause, let's hear a shout out. Don't be shy, this is a wonderful event. Just look around. Look around, all these beautiful, wonderful people committed to our students. Thank you. And we're back together in person for, as Delcy told us, in the last 3 years, for the CSU signature event, the Graduation Initiative 2025 Symposium. Yes, our virtual convening succeeded in keeping us safe during the pandemic and centering us across the digital space on the most important thing, the CSU mission. And I welcome and appreciate all of you who have joined our live stream to continue that conversation. But just as atoms must mix to spark electricity, there's simply no substitute for gathering the CSU's greatest minds, our most passionate and compassionate hearts, our driven leaders, our visionaries. That's all of you in the room and watching. It's all of you. You spark the creativity and the inspiration flies. And I can't wait to hear from you. We have a wonderful agenda in store. And while we're back physically, believe me when I say, the California State University is back. We are back. After a difficult time of uncertainty, transition, reflection, reform, and restoration, our CSU state community has faced and continues to navigate significant challenges. Challenges like a global pandemic that has altered the way we live and work. Associated impacts on our students that will be felt for the foreseeable future. A concerning decline in enrollment, and persistent and pernicious voices questioning the value of a college degree. Isn't that incredible? Unbelievable, right? As a system, we've undergone a very public and rightful reckoning of our Title IX practices and the way we care for our extended community. And we continue to contend with news outlets that compete for attention with focus on scandals and on controversies. But all of that obscures the real story, the true story, our story, the story of the CSU, Student success and equity remain the California State University's top priority and our reason for being. And despite any challenges, we continue to stand tall as the largest and most ethnically and economically diverse four-year university system in the nation, and its most powerful driver of social mobility. We are back, and it's past time that we tell our story loudly, proudly, and boldly. It's a story I know well because it's my own. Some of you already know I'm a first-generation college student, the daughter of humble and proud parents who migrated to Brooklyn from Puerto Rico. I grew up in a poor, but in a beautifully diverse neighborhood near the factories where my parents and my neighbors worked. But while my neighbors were diverse, their dreams were the same to create a better life for the next and future generations. And my parents impressed upon us, and there were 7 of us, from a very early age, la única herencia que una familia pobre le deja a sus hijos es una buena educación. The only inheritance a poor family can leave its children is a good education. When my father died when I was 12, we moved to the housing projects of Fort Greene Farragut projects. My mom was my shiro, raising us on a modest factory salary, and yet we never felt poor. And when I was 14 and got my working papers, she allowed me to go to work in that factory. I witnessed how the workers were treated. The foreman, believe it or not, actually screamed at me. That day, he made the mistake of trying to tell me my worth, my mom's worth, my neighbor's worth, and it didn't go well for him. I quit, and I looked at him and I vowed that someday I would be his boss and I would get my mother out of that factory. It was really then, it was the best education she could ever give me. It was then that I truly understood my parents' vision and sacrificed, and I embraced their gift, my inheritance, the transformative power of higher education. I corrected that foreman. In fact, if that man is still with us, I am willing to bet he remembers that day, word for word. And you can rest assured that I will be just as outspoken in proudly proclaiming the altering value of the CSU degree, the invaluable worth and limitless potential of our students we serve, the tremendous impact of the work you do every day to guide the next generation toward their dreams, and the unparalleled power of the CSU to fuel equity, progress, and prosperity across our state and the nation, and serving as a national model as we do. In my work at ASCU, conferring with 400 colleges and universities from across the country, my perspective gave me a clear view of the national landscape. And there simply is no competition for what the CSU has accomplished and what we will accomplish together. Despite persistent equity gaps, thanks to our collective focus and leadership, graduation rates are at or near all-time highs. And this is for students from all backgrounds, thanks in large part to the Graduation Initiative. Thanks to your work, the CSU produced a cumulative total of more than 150,000 additional degree holders. Let me say that again, 150,000, more than we would have otherwise, since the initiative launched in 2016. We will dive deeper into the latest numbers today in ways you haven't seen before. These graduates, you know this, these graduates are enriching our workforce, our communities in immeasurable ways with their skills, their drive, and their vibrant diversity. The CSU offers the most affordable educational programs in the country, even with the tuition proposal that was recently approved by the Board of Trustees. With our help, with your help, more than 80% of our students receive financial aid. More than 60% of our undergraduates have their tuition fully covered, and more than half of our bachelor's degree recipients graduate with zero debt. Thanks in part to these extraordinary numbers, and our universities dominate every national ranking for social mobility. The Ivy League and other well-resourced schools are nowhere to be found on social mobility. In fact, the Wall Street Journal and U.S. News and World Report rankings were released just last month. Cal State LA tops the Wall Street Journal list with 9 CSUs in the top 20. Top 20, come on, that's a round of applause. More than half of the top 25 on the U.S. News and World Report regional Western universities list are from the CSU. We are the university of choice for California families seeking value, affordability, excellence, and quality preparation for the demand, well-paying careers that will allow them to stay near home, in their home state, with low or no student loan debt. And because our students have drive, grit, and the hands-on experience and skills that come from the world-class education, our employers seek them out. 1 out of 10 California employees hold a CSU degree. More than 7,000 of Apple's global employees are CSU grads. 6,000 work for Northrop Grumman. More than 4,000 Cal State alum are employed by Disney and Google. And more than 2,500 work at each of Oracle, Intel, and Cisco. Together, we're building the educated workforce that reflects the dynamic diversity of California's and America's new majority, and that drives the world, yes, the world's 4th largest economy. And our reach extends worldwide. 1 out of 10 California employees is a CSU grad, and 1 out of every 20 degree holders nationwide earned that degree on one of our campuses. Our graduates now make up a network of more than 4 million. Cal State alums around the globe, invaluable supporters. They're serving as leaders, as role models, employers, and mentors in every field and industry, and they're carrying the CSU flag. With our indisputable impact on the Golden State and beyond, the CSU continues to earn the record-breaking support and investment of forward-thinking donors who believe in our students, believe in our ability, and believe in our mission. Last year alone, our 23 universities celebrated a collective total of more than $1 billion. Did you hear that? $1 billion in gifts, commitments, and receipts from supporters to fund cutting-edge facilities, generous scholarships, innovative programs, all to advance the success of our students. And despite a worsening state budget deficit, the CSU remains a surefire investment of state dollars, delivering almost $7 of economic output for every dollar invested. With a demonstrated belief in our commitment to student success and recognition of our power as an economic engine, Governor Newsom and the legislature continue to honor their multi-year commitment to increase funding for the CSU. And our incredible story has only just begun. As all of these friends, admirers, alumni, and supporters recognize, the CSU has unlimited potential, and together we will continue to lead the nation in advancing equity for a better tomorrow. But this isn't a time to rest on our laurels. Now, here, beginning with the symposium, is our opportunity to write our next chapter. We have no shortages of challenges ahead. Persistent opportunity gaps continue to shortchange our students and our state. There is greater need now more than ever to expand access and affordability, to proactively recruit and serve students of all ages and stages, not only to elevate lives, but to power California's economic and social vitality. And we do have a mighty hill to climb in achieving the full recommendations of the Black Student Success Strategic Work Group and becoming a national leader in Black student success. But no hill is too high for the CSU, right? And no matter the remaining work that we have ahead, we are committed to holding ourselves accountable and pressing forward with a laser focus, using our undoubtable and indomitable strength. Our strengths? We have all of you. Innovative and passionate leaders who never shrink from a challenge. World-class faculty illuminating ideas, connections, and discoveries. Talented, caring, student-centered staff who impact countless lives daily. You could sum that up all in saying you love our students. We have the wisdom, expertise, and institutional knowledge of longtime CSU leaders, paired with the energy, ideas, and fresh perspectives that new leaders bring us. We have passionate, resilient, ambitious students from all walks of life, cultures, and perspectives who enrich ourselves, our campus in countless ways, and challenge us to be better. And because we were one of the first university systems in the nation to set ambitious system-wide goals for student success and equity, we have the benefit of decades of focus, innovative data dashboards to guide our efforts, countless lessons learned and acted upon that we share with each other, and best practices that are ready to scale. And as just one example of way so many, last year, our student success team at the Chancellor's office scrutinized system-wide data for more than 600 programs across our 23 universities. They hope to find clear front-runners in closing equity gaps and to learn and share their secrets. Data doesn't lie. Cal State Fullerton's College of Engineering and Computer Science, for one, is achieving astounding results, particularly in accelerating graduation rates and closing gaps for Latinx students who were once a rarity in the STEM fields. Can the Cal State Fullerton team please give us a wave? And where are you? Where are you? There they are. We'll have the opportunity to hear their story over lunch tomorrow. And as I said earlier, this is just one of many where we continue to demonstrate our commitment, our passion, our strength. And today, we have a wealth of highly relevant work sessions, inspiring speakers, and engaging conversations to help replenish our energy and really crystallize our focus on our 2025 goals so that we can finish strong and then with well-earned pride celebrate that success before we move forward. And also on tomorrow's agenda, I am excited to have you join me in reimagining the work ahead, laying out the next iteration of CSU's graduation initiative and how we will define our collective future. At a time when our nation and our world is so bitterly divided, It is deeply gratifying to me to see our entire Cal State community coming together to educate and inspire each other and all of us, and to inspire America's new majority to make sure that we ensure equity of opportunity, and to develop the diverse and talented leaders who will create a better tomorrow for all of us, our families, our states, our community, and our nation. So, we must dream big, because just like my parents and neighbors in Brooklyn, our students and families are dreaming even bigger, and they're depending on us. Many of you heard this early in the month at the CSU Social Mobility Conference at San Marcos, but it does bear repeating. According to Georgetown Center on Education and the Workforce, a college degree has an average lifetime value of $2.8 million, and degree holders face lower rates of unemployment and are more likely to enjoy the security and stability provided by health insurance. And then there are the personal benefits beyond the economic gains. College graduates smoke less, exercise more, have lower rates of obesity, and have better overall health outcomes. They report higher levels of happiness, too. According to the New York Times, the article published just this month, college graduates even live longer. And importantly, there are many societal benefits. College graduates volunteer more, they vote more, are more likely to launch a small business and assume leadership roles in their community. According to the Lumina Foundation, they rely far less on public services and pay on average $381,000 in lifetime taxes, net of public services, as compared to just $26,000 for high school graduates. Let us never forget, and let us continue to educate higher education's naysayers. Higher education is a public good every bit as much as it is a private good. Higher education ensures a more stable life and more socially and economically equitable communities for all. We have the moral imperative and great privilege of showing the nation how to ensure that all students achieve their lifelong benefits and fully participate in the American dream. Before we move on to questions and answers, I'd like to call out just one student, just one story out of 500,000 others that illustrate our charge and precious and awesome responsibility. I haven't met Alfonso Perez. I read about him in the Sacramento Bee. I do hope I can meet him one day. Alfonso is following the footsteps of his mother and father and his grandfather, working in the great fields of Lodi, waking up at 4 a.m. to toil along the vines, tied to the seasons and the crops. At one point when he was young, his family of 6 encountered difficult times. They lost their home and moved back to Mexico. But with the dream of an American education for their children, Alfonso's parents eventually returned to the Central Valley. We wanted him to realize that by studying, he would go farther than us, his father said. With the support and example of his hardworking parents, Alfonso has beaten the odds. Only 1% of farm workers possess a college degree, but he is now a proud graduate of Sacramento State. What's more, he is pursuing a master's degree with the goal of becoming an educator to influence future generations like his. But until he's done, he's still joining his parents before dawn in the fields. He says, and I quote, "I like to work there so I can remind myself of the sacrifices my parents are making for me, the sacrifices I made for myself, and to appreciate the opportunities I've had. I'll say it again. I hope someday to have the honor of meeting Alberto Perez. And what this story tells us, the CSU presents opportunity. Let us never forget that. Let us always remember the precious resource we provide, the very definition of our country, the land of opportunity, and let us forever strive to deliver it to all who seek it. Thank you for all you do. Thank you for your passion, your wisdom, your thoughts, your intelligence, your commitment, and your love to the students we serve. And now, you've heard enough from me. I'd like to hear from you. Delcy, can you please moderate our question and answer session? Thank you.